Hi guys, it's your boy Prospi again with another video. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about how we blacks in the diaspora, even back at home, we should change the way we treat each other. When I talk about this topic, and there's a question that comes into my mind, how do we expect Asians and whites to treat us better when we cannot treat ourselves better? We should treat our kind first better. We should treat our kind first before other nationalities can also treat us even better. So before we move into that, I'm going to talk about 3 basic Chinese phrases. So I think subsequently in my subsequent videos, I'm going to be at least giving you some basic Chinese. You never know, some viewers out there might visit China someday. So the first thing, the basic Chinese, the first thing you want to say is ni hao. Ni hao simply means hello. Ni hao. Ni hao. And the next phrase is ni hao ma. Ni hao ma. Ni hao ma simply means how are you? And how do you respond to that? 我, which means me or I, 我很好. 我很好. So if I tell you 我很好, I could also say 我很好 means I am good. 我很好 means I am good. So if I say 我很好, I could also say 你呢? 你呢, which means and you? Yeah, because if I say 我很好, which means I am good, I have to ask you, or I should say, how about you? So 你呢? So we have 你好, 你好, which means hello. It's very common. 你好吗? 你好吗? Which means how are you? How are you? 你好吗? And you simply respond, 我很好. I'm very good. 我很好. And I could say 你呢? What about you? 你呢? Okay, so let's move on to the main thing of this video, which is all about how blacks, especially from Africa, should treat each other. I'm saying that we should change the way we treat each other. And it still goes back to the same question. How do we expect whites, Asians, Indians, or whatever color to treat us better if we cannot treat our kind better? Okay, so just recently, a couple of days ago, we had we had group chats in China where, like a lot of blacks are on a group chat. We talk about things affecting blacks. So to make it short, the point is there's this black dude. He's from Ghana. Yeah, I'm gonna mention the country. He's from Ghana, and he invites other blacks from other countries to China. And before they get here, they sign a contract, like a work contract. And when they arrive here, the contract that they signed before boarding the plane is not the same contract. They work with the contract they sign when they get here is a different contract. The salary is too little. I mean, literally like 3,000 yuan. Yeah, 3,000 yuan is just like $500. That can barely get you in a month in China, 3,000 yuan. I mean, like in this day in China, things are expensive. Housing is expensive, food is expensive, So 3,000 yuan is just peanuts in China nowadays. Of course, it's a lot of money in some countries back home, but it's peanuts here. So, and from the intel I got from a very, very close friend of mine, this guy received 3.5 million CFA from these guys. I mean, from before they came over here, he received 3.5 million CFA. That's a lot of money. Well, I understand. I don't want to get into that. That's business. Yeah, that's business. But you should, give them a better job. Yeah, and you can receive 3.5 million from well, you can receive whatever amount you want to receive. I don't care about that, but give them a better job. What I'm saying is that these guys, when they got here, they're doing 80 hours per week. Is it 80 hours per week? No, 80 hours per month. That's a lot of hours. 80 hours per month for 3,000 yuan. very little money like that. For 3,000, you're doing 80 hours. And then the next thing is your boss, this guy's boss, keeps their passport. They cannot do anything without their passport. They cannot even travel to other cities and visit their friends. Who the hell does that? Who the hell has a right to keep another human being's passport? You don't have the right to keep someone else's passport. Yeah, my passport is my document, so I have to keep my passport. So you don't have to keep their passport. They sign some kind of a stupid document that they have to pay a deposit. I don't even want to get into that. But the point is, you have no right. They have no right to keep their passport. You're paying them 3,000 yuan. You receive 3.5 million from them before they got here. So I don't understand. It's not okay. This is not the way we should treat each other. This is not the way we should treat each other, because I'm not saying that whites don't do horrible things, but the way blacks do things to other blacks in this country, it is too bad. Yeah, that's just how I can say it's really bad, you know. So, and finally, you know, after these girls, they went to the local police. They finally got their passports. They signed some documents. So, and these girls are not the first victims. There are lots of victims who have been through that same company. Yeah, I mean, so it's really bad. Some of the girls, they had to even leave that company and go home, because sometimes the boss of that company has to cancel their visas, give them 10 days. So it's the worst place to work in China. Yeah, I mean, that company, probably that province. So that's what we should probably change. We shouldn't treat each other in that way. The next thing is just recently, you know, we had the quarantine. Now it's a lot much better. Some of the sisters and brothers, I mean, like our kind, the blacks, they go to platforms like WeChat platforms, like groups. They add members from behind, and they send them private messages begging for money. They send the same messages. This thing happened because some of those guys, I'm one of the members of that group. So some of these guys, they came online and send those same messages that they received from one particular black dude who claims to be broke, and he's a student begging for money. If you are broke and you want money, you come you come online and explain your problem. You have people who have a very good heart. They'll help you. Don't go behind. You're sending the same message to everybody, begging for almost the same amount, sometimes $5, sometimes $10. It's some kind of like a new way of scamming your own brothers and sisters. Come on, brothers. I don't think we should be doing this. I don't think so. It only happens with blacks, I guess. Even if it happens with other nationalities, but it's very common in the black community. So we should change this. I don't think it's okay. We should change the way we treat each other. That's not even enough. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is all about visa extension. You know, coming to China is just the first thing. The next thing is, how do you extend your visa when you come to China? Especially if you come to China maybe with an F visa or with a tourist visa, and maybe you come here and you want to work. Or even sometimes you have guys who have worked for a company, they have a residence visa, because the residence visas are always renewed for 12 months. So once your job is almost over, or your job is over with that company, you have to find another job or find another school that can extend your visa. And maybe by the time your visa is almost expired, you can't find another school. You have to find an agent. I cannot, if I start counting the number of people that I know who've had problems with either visa extension, that, I mean, like, they give money to our brothers who knows a certain Chinese who can extend the visa. I mean, like, along the way, our brother receives the money, he skips town, means he leaves town, he changes city, he changes his number, he changes his address, you can't contact him. He runs away with a passport and the money for visa extension. And this brother cannot do anything because he can't find a new job without a residence visa. He can, you know, he has to be working like, you know, like an OS, overstay, which is bad for him because he cannot get a good job without a residence visa. So these are the things that which I think it's really, it really hurts me so much when I hear things like that, because we are doing it to our kind, which we should be treating ourselves better. It's our kind, you know. So I think we should change the way we treat each other. We should really, really change the way we treat each other. I understand it's business. Some people are going to say, oh yeah, I invited him and I gave him a job. He gave me the agent fee and he went to the school and he did not get the job. That's his problem. But you have to understand, some people are going to say, oh, look at everyone Prosper. You talk like American. See if they, you want member American wonder. Bros, this is not the way I used to talk when I was in Cameroon. Because this is not the Cameroonian accent. When you get here, you have to polish your accent. Because, yeah, of course, so many people in Africa, they speak English and we can understand each other. But when you come to China, when you speak English like you speak back home, they'll tell you, they don't understand. You have an accent. You have an African accent. So you have to work on your accent. So my advice to job agents, the brothers who are job agents, is that when you invite someone over here and you want to send that person to a school, you have to sit that person down probably a week or so and try to give that person some tutorials, some lessons. Get a board, let him sit in your living room and teach. Because the way we teach back home is not the way we teach ESL, English as a second language. No, it's not the same. It's not the same. That's the first thing. The method of teaching is different. The second thing, which is the most important, well, it should have been the first one, but it doesn't matter. It's your accent. You have to polish that accent. You have to polish that accent. So this is not the way I used to speak. So some people are going to be saying, oh, he's trying to mimic an American accent. I'm not trying to. I had to polish my accent to get where I am today. I had to. And it is paying off. So I can't tell you the nights that I've slept trying to pronounce those words because I had to work on those pronunciation muscles. You know, I had to. Because if I didn't, I would not be where I am today. So it's not like I'm bragging over it or I'm trying to mimic an American accent. It's because whatever comes from America, it's what the Chinese people like. You know, if you speak like an American, oh, they like that. Because Chinese, they always want to, you know, they're always following America. You know, they watch American movies. They're always thinking about American economy, American basketball, American politics, everything. Everything. So everything they're just looking up to in America. Even if you speak British accent, they don't really like British accent. If you speak Australian accent, they don't really like Australian accent. If you speak like an American, even if you don't speak like American, the most important thing is if you pronounce those words clearly. I mean, like, probably different. You enunciate those words different from the way we used to pronounce words in Cameroon, like the word B-U-S. Back in Africa, or in my country, people would say boss. But here is bass. So those are the differences. So those are the things that we Africans have to work in. And then those are the things that I think any agent who invites teachers to come over here has to tutor those people, those newbies. You have to teach them what to do before they get to class, their accent and their teaching methods. So I think we really have to change the way we treat each other. We have to change the way we treat each other. And there are so many things. There are so many things that I could include in this video, but these are just the few that I could think about and which I think it's really, really important that someone has to say it. I don't care if someone is going to say, oh, what he's saying is not, we are all, like I was talking to this brother and he said, come on, we are in a jungle. So it's survival of the fittest. And he was like trying to say he condones the fact that some brothers scam other brothers because they want to make money. No, I said, no, we are not in a jungle. We are not in a jungle. Just because someone is just because someone makes themselves a banana and you're the monkey, you're gonna eat them. No, no, not your kind. Yeah, not your kind. I think we should treat our kind much, much better. Because if we don't, how do we expect whites and Asians to treat us better? How? So you gotta treat your kind, protect your kind. Yeah, do something good to your kind. Guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please watch, subscribe, and share. I will see you in the next video. Kudos.